Indian in the Cupboard, Chapter 14, reading number 4. If you remember, Little Bear and Boone are watching TV, which they've never seen before, and Omri and Patrick had explained the magic of it. And they're right now watching an old Western show with a battle between the Native Americans and the settlers. And everybody's getting a little bit excited. And I'm going to go and I'm going to finish exactly where I had stopped before. White men move on to land. Use water. Kill animals. So what? Let the best man win. And we won. Yippee. He added as another television Indian went down with his horse on top of him. Omri was looking at the screen when it happened. And low on the soundtrack, he heard a thin, faint whistling sound. And he heard Boone grunt. He looked back at Boone swiftly. His blood froze. The cowboy had an arrow sticking out of his chest. For a couple of seconds, he remained upright in Patrick's breast pocket. Then, quite slowly, he fell forward. Omri had often marveled at the way people in films, particularly girls and women, were given to letting out loud screams as dramatic or awful moments. Now he felt one rise in his own throat and would have let it out if Little Bear hadn't cried out first. Patrick, who had not noticed anything amiss until now, looked at Little Bear, saw where his bow arm was still pointing, and looked down at his own pocket. Over the top of it, Boone hung, head down, as limp as a piece of knotted string. Boone! Boone! No! Snapped Omri. No, don't touch him! Ignoring Little Bear, who tumbled down his trouser leg to the floor as he moved, Omri very carefully lifted Boone clear between finger and thumb and laid him across the palm of his hand. The cowboy lay face up with the arrow still sticking out of his chest. Is he dead? Whispered Patrick in horror. I don't know. Should we take his arrow out? We can't. Little Bear must. With infinite care and slowness, Omri laid his hand on the carpet. Boone lay perfectly still. With such a tiny body, it was impossible to be sure whether the arrow was stuck in and where his heart was, or was it higher towards his shoulder. The arrow shaft was so fine you could only make out the minute cluster of little feathers. Little Bear, come here! Omri's voice was steely, a voice Mr. Johnson himself would have envied. It commanded obedience. Oh, so he didn't say it the way I said it. He said it like this. Little Bear, come here! Oh, right? That's very different, isn't it? Little Bear scrambled to his feet after his fall, walked unsteadily over to Omri's hand. Get up there and see if you killed him! Without a word, Little Bear climbed onto the edge of Omri's hand, knelt down beside Boone. He laid his ear against his chest, just below the arrow. He listened, and he straightened up, but without looking at either of the boys, he said, Not killed. Omri felt his breath go out in relief. Take the arrow out carefully. If he dies now, it'll be double your fault. Little Bear put one hand on Boone's chest, and with his fingers on either side of the arrow, and with the other took hold of the shaft where it went into Boone's body. Blood come. Needs stop-up hole. Omri's mother kept boxes of tissues in every room, mainly so nobody would have an excuse to sit sniffling, and Patrick jumped up and brought this, tearing off a piece of corner and rolling it into a wad no bigger than a pinhead. Now it's got germs on it from your hands, said Omri. Where's the disinfectant? It's in the bathroom cupboard. Don't let my mom see you. While Patrick was gone, Omri sat motionless and silent, his eyes fixed on Little Bear, still poised to put out the arrow. After a long minute, The Indian muttered something, and Omri bent his head low. What?
Little Bear, sorry.
Omri straightened up, his heart cold and untouched. You'll be a lot sorrier if you don't save him, was all he said. Patrick raced with the bottle of Listerine. He poured a drop on the lid and dipped the little ball of tissue in it. Then he held the cap close to Little Bear. Go on, Omri ordered. Pull it out. Little Bear seemed to brace himself. Then he began to tremble.
Little Bear not do. Little Bear no doctor. Get doctor back. He no make wound good.
We can't, said Omri shortly. Why can't they? Are you saying what I'm thinking? They can't because they don't have the key, right? We're going to stop our reading there. Stay tuned for the rest of chapter 14.